Todd here, and welcome to another Acme Machining. Been to the post office here, and we got a little gift here from Mr. James Enos, Tangent Engineering, out of East Freetown, Massachusetts. And he has sent us a lathe compound Sine Bar Kit. These things are beautiful. Seen Maddie's workshop use it a lot. Just going to hold that there for a minute. You guys want one? Give him a phone call, give him an email. He's a great guy. He's kind of fun to talk to. It's a barrel of laughs. So we're going to get this out and get it over to the lathe. So thank you very much, Jim, and we'll look forward to putting this thing to work. Now when you open this up, first thing I notice is he has a whole bunch of cue cards here. And it's for making all the different tapers, I should say. This one's for Jacob tapers, so if you want to make a Jacob taper to fit your drill chuck, it's got it in here, and it's done up for the different stack heights on his. He's got 3 of these kits, or 4 of these kits, a 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch. And it tells you gauge block stacks to make these tapers. So you don't need to be a math whiz. You just, this is a 4 inch, so I just go down here. I want to make a number 6. I get a gauge block stack of 0.10378. So, but there's Jacob's tapers, there's Jacob's tapers again, more information on it, Brown and Sharp tapers, Morse tapers, that's what we're going to be working on here shortly, and Jarno tapers. So, and they all sit in a nice little, excuse my arm, but nice little pocket up in the top here. So, and then we've got this plate here, and it fits up against the compound slide. It's got some heavy-duty magnets there to hold it in place, and it has a set of screws, and these screws will go in these holes here, and you can use them to break away the magnets if you want. Okay, so you can put them in there, and that's, if it's a little bit too tough to lift them off, you can use those. Another thing he's got is he included a set of Morse tapers. These here are all ground to size, so I'm looking for a Morse. There's 0, 1, 2, 3. There's the one I'm looking for right there. And he's got 4, 4.5, 5, 6, and Morse taper 7. And they all come in this handy little compartment that can get stored away there nicely. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces, we're going to head over to the lathe, and we're going to get that set up. So, okay folks, so I've taken my tool post off just so you guys get a better view of this. Tool post comes off, loosen off 1 bolt, that slides right out. So what I'm doing is this here just comes off, fits on like this across the back here, and the shim for the Morse taper, it just slides in behind this dowel pin, and you just pull it up tight. Now what I've got the compound here loose, and what I'm doing is I'm just eyeballing this here down the bed of my lathe, just so I can get fairly close. And then I will come in here, I'm going to bump this down just a little bit. going to move my 0 over here just so I got a little bit more room to work. And hopefully you guys stay in frame when I do this. But as you can see, you just bump this to keep it fairly close. So that end is at about 4th thou, or this end is about 4th thou. So I'm just going to bump it in, re-zero it. Oh, run out of real estate there. So that's in too far, so. Just going to take it halfway, see where that gets me. Gets me way out in left field. I'll zero this for you folks again and see where we're at. She's very sensitive. Stop going off the edge of that scale. No, I did it on this end. Okay. First time jitters, right? Plus, I'm doing it live, so. Get watching the needle and you walk right off the end of the earth. Okay, I'm going to snug these compound slide bolts or nuts down, and I'll be right back. Okay folks, some of the things I've learned. Take a deep breath, have patience. That goes for everything you do. But what I did is I adjusted the gib on my cross slide here to take some slack out of it, and I also have a locking pin that goes down here in the back, and I tightened that up a fair bit, and I'm just going to zero that out for you folks. Now, what it has done is I've got that shim in the back here that comes in the kit from Jim, and that sets this plate off. I'm exaggerating the angle, but by setting that plate off and zeroing it with the dial, like we've done, it sets your compound, and I am reading, I don't know if this is correct or not, but I am reading just under 2 degrees, so I think it's supposed to be like 1.4 or something like that, but we're going to put a tool post on there and throw a bit in the machine and see if I can put a Morse taper on the end of this rod. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Decided to see just how close I could get without driving myself insane. Now, you'll notice right down here, this is a tenths indicator, okay? And right now I am just past 13 tenths. And right there I am just past 13 tenths, so I'm going to call that good. So let's get set up and get some cutting done. Okay, so I just faced off the end of this. I got a little bit of a different camera angle here going on for you folks. But I told you I was going to get a new tripod. The money I make on this channel I put back into the channel, so hit the like and subscribe buttons please. And but I bought a new tripod, one with a boom on it, so I can get up behind the lathe, because the lathe is stuck in a corner and I can't get a regular tripod behind it. But one thing we have to do is we need to come in here about 3.2 inches, so just shy of 3 1/4, and we need to turn this diameter down to 0.938, and right now we are at 1.5 inches, so it's a good solid bar. I've got a plan for it. Once I get my first Morse taper cut on this here new Sine Bar, I will put it away and start collecting some parts for a little surprise coming up. So we'll get to work and we'll get this turned down to 938. I'll do a couple cuts here just to get you started, and then I'll bring you back when I get you to size, because this is just regular turning. So there, I changed my cut. I tried to take 50 thou, so I brought her down to 20. Behaved a lot better, as you can hear. I'm shaking stuff off the top of the mill and everything through the lathe. So. See how she behaves this time. Well, that's a lot better. Breaking a chip, but I like the finish, so we're going to leave it at that. when I get down to my 0.938. And then we'll start cutting the Morse taper. Okay folks, final cut. Played around with the feeds and speeds. I haven't been able to get this to break a chip. But I'm real happy with the finish, so I'm just being careful of these long stringy things. I'm running 360 RPM, and this here should be my final cut. Get me down around 0.950, somewhere around there. Major diameter for that Morse Taper 3 is 0.938, so I'm going to be a little bit bigger, just a little bit longer, not too much, but we'll see where we end up. That is too hot to touch, so. And we are at 0.954 and a half thou. So we'll let that cool down for a bit. Okay folks, so now this here is all done with the compound. Gonna be a lot of cranking. Okay. I don't have a drill set up for this like some of them have, because I haven't done a whole lot of this taper stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to touch off, and that'll set my my cross slide. And I've got my cross slide fairly snug, and so I'm just going to touch off here. Taken 20 before, so I'm going to take 20 again. But this time, it's just with the compound. Feed in another 20. On the cross slide, and crank in the compound. You can see that first cut, we went up about 3/4 of an inch. Take 10 thou at a time here. Trying to keep a consistent speed on my cranking. slow. Let's see how that looks. I know I've got a ways to go. I'm right about here, and I've got to come up almost to the shoulder. So. Gonna work. Slow down my cuts and my feed, and we'll get there. Slowing down my feed because my cuts were a little rough when I took a look at them. But hard to judge how far you gotta cut because each cut takes you, like I just took 5 thou, and I'm gonna see how far up that takes me. That's the finish of the last one. That's probably 3/16 of an inch farther. I'm just going in 5. One thing I am going to do is I am going to pump up the speed here, because if I pump up the speed, my feed will be slower because I'm not going to keep up. I just went from 360 to 600, so. Rather than me trying to feed half the speed, the cart spin twice as fast, or almost twice as fast. bad. Yeah, I can go up another 1/2 inch basically for that piece, and that's the piece that lives in the nose of the lathe that I'm just going to bring the lathe, the cross slide, I'm going to bring it straight back without cranking it back. See how this looks without feeding it backwards all the way. We've got a 1/4 inch to go. I'm actually going to try a different cutter just to see if I can get a different result. Okay, we changed over to one of them diamond inserts, and we'll see what it's like. Diamond shape, not made of diamond. Fine cuts going on right here because first thing I want to do is I want to clean up that finish that I had. The angle's feeling real nice on that. Fit feels nice. Trying to get the finish that I see Maddie getting all the time, Maddie's workshop. My God, when it comes to finishes, he's a magician. If it wasn't so far, I'd go to Australia and spend a week with him just so he could teach me. I'm gonna run and get myself a strip of sandpaper and I'll be back. Okay, we're just running some 120 paper here. Starting to look real pretty. Oh, that feels nice. Let's get the Sharpie and see what it does. Zoom you folks in here. What I've got that I've been using here, it's the head of the machine's a Morse Taper 5, and this is a Morse Taper 5 to Morse Taper 3 adapter. So you can see it's hitting real good here, leaving me a little bit on the outsides. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work that area, because of course it comes off the dyed areas first because they're the high spots. So now that I know I've got a high spot here, just going to do a little bit of work with sandpaper. There you can see that it touched a little bit here, touched down here, and not right there. So I'm going to work away at the bottom just a little bit and the very, very top. Definitely fitting good. There, touching here, touching here. Starting to get a little bit everywhere, so. I've got to go get you guys a fresh battery. Okay, I've grabbed the different, this is R8 to Morse Taper 3. I just wanted to try a different one. My God, that's tight. And you can see, starting to get it's up in here, a little bit down in there. A little bit more polish up top there, and I'm going to call it. So, okay, we're going to give this one last polish. Depending on which one I use, I'm getting different markings on this. So, it's getting that, I've got marks consistent all the way up through. So, I'm going to call it good, and we're just going to a finer sandpaper to get a nice finish on it. I like it, folks. Hey, I just gave that a slap in there rather than feeding it in nice and slow trying to get a registration mark on it. But I gave it a tap, and now I can't get it off, so I'm going to have to take it out and give it a little tap from the center. But just want to again say thank you very much for Jim from Tangent Engineering. He's got some great tools. Check them out. You will take a shot of his information there, and it has his email and phone number on. He's very quick to reply, so great guy. He's got a lot of stuff. So he's also got a YouTube channel there. So just do a search for Tangent Engineering or Jim Enos, and you'll find him. So he's got some good content. Shows you the tools he's making, and he's a smart man. He's got a lot of experience. So thank you for watching the whole video, and thank you again, Jim. Y'all have a great day. Like and subscribe.